The movie begins in 1982 inside Freddy's Pizza restaurant. Everything seems completely normal. Kids are playing games and having fun. In the middle of all this, a girl named Charlotte is waiting for her favorite animatronic, Marionette. Just then, another girl comes and invites Charlotte to sit at her table. Charlotte sits with them, but her attention is caught by a man in a yellow rabbit suit who seems to be doing something wrong. He is holding a child. Shocked, Charlotte asks nearby parents for help, but everyone is so busy with their own things that no one listens to her. Forced to act on her own, Charlotte decides to save the boy. She goes into the dark alley behind the restaurant, where she realizes that William has knocked the boy unconscious and is calmly doing his work. Charlotte quietly tries to reach the boy, but suddenly William disappears. Charlotte picks up the unconscious boy and starts running, but William comes after her with a knife. Everyone is still busy, so Charlotte screams loudly to get attention. Hearing the scream, the boy regains consciousness and runs back to his family. But in front of everyone's eyes, Charlotte is stabbed in the back. She falls into a chamber and dies right there. At that moment, Marionette arrives and lifts Charlotte into its arms. Time passes, an investigation takes place, but William escapes responsibility. He claims Charlotte entered a restricted area by mistake, and the matter is closed as if nothing ever happened. In the present day, Vanessa is still disturbed by nightmares about her father, but Mike's friendship gives her some comfort. Mike calls her and asks if they can meet later. They meet often, and it is clear that something more special is developing between them. Abby teases Mike about it and goes to school joking about his date. At home, a painter named Jeremiah tells Mike to stay away from Charlotte because he thinks she is strange. Mike strongly supports Charlotte and says he keeps Abby away from everything because he has gone through a lot. On the bus, Abby tells Vanessa the story of the yellow rabbit. She says the rabbit's body is still lying in Freddy's, but the other kids laugh at her and call her crazy. In robotics class, the teacher warns everyone to complete their project by Friday. The teacher especially dislikes Abby because he believes real robotics is taught in school, and the popularity of animatronics irritates him. A boy suggests Abby could repair her animatronic friends herself, and this idea stays in her mind. At night, Mike gets ready to meet Vanessa. Abby asks if she can go meet her animatronic friends, but Mike refuses. He promises to repair them soon and advises Abby to make real friends. Angry, Abby starts watching a horror show on TV. Mike says they will talk later and leaves. At the restaurant, Mike waits for Vanessa. She arrives in a beautiful dress and says this is not just a normal meetup. She explains she is taking classes to distract herself. Mike admits he does not know how to handle Abby and her animatronic friends. Charlotte advises him to be honest with Abby. Mike also comforts Charlotte about her dreams and her father. When Mike returns home that night, he finds Abby missing. A note says she has gone to meet the animatronics. Mike rushes to Freddy's. Abby realizes Mike had lied. They meet in the center hall and see that the animatronics are gone. Mike says they should leave. Maybe their spirits are now in heaven. To cheer Abby up, he shows her a toy, and Abby chooses a realistic interactive toy. Before leaving, Mike finds a strange poster claiming Freddy is a murderer, along with a phone number. Meanwhile, a group that makes fake documentaries arrives to explore Freddy's. The leader, Lisa, says this place could be the scariest. The boy who invited them, Michael, gives them a tour and shows different versions of Freddy. Lisa hears music and decides to check alone. Michael enjoys everything. Alex falls into water while exploring instruments. Lisa finds a large gift box. As soon as she stops the music, the box opens by itself, and Marionette comes out. Other animatronics activate. Michael cannot stop laughing. This was his plan. Alex is killed by an animatronic. The boy in water is surrounded by multiple marionettes and attacked. Michael sees Lisa getting possessed. She attacks him, and Michael runs out, smiling once he escapes. The next morning, Abby cannot focus on her competition project. She tries to talk to the animatronics. Mike is confused about how to help her. Meanwhile, Vanessa tries to relax by cycling, but her visions become stronger. She sees her father everywhere. Terrified, she hides in a changing room and points a gun at her trainer, thinking he is her father. After class, she gathers all her father's belongings, closes the windows, and thinks about him. She sees a vision where she tells her father she is no longer afraid, but he still chases her. Young Vanessa hides in a room, but her father finds her. An animatronic activates and Vanessa is caught. Her father says she will always belong to him. She keeps running and fighting him until she suddenly regains consciousness. That night, Abby is sleeping when she receives a message from Chica asking for help, along with the address of the original Freddy's Pizza. Abby secretly leaves home and reaches there. Everything seems empty until Chica suddenly appears. Abby happily hugs her, and they talk. This was the movie's interval point. If you are enjoying the story so far, make sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel. Now let's continue the story without wasting time. A few days later, Vanessa comes to Mike's house looking for him and Abby. In Abby's room, she finds the interactive toy. Abby suddenly jump scares her and explains that this toy guided her to the original Freddy's location. Vanessa tries to warn Mike, but he thinks Abby is just talking about the radio he gave her. Then Mike reveals something important. He called the number from the poster and learned that William had attacked more victims, which Vanessa had hidden. Mike says he only wanted to help them. Vanessa feels Mike sees her as a problem to fix, and distance grows between them. Later, Mike drops Abby at her competition and promises to return soon before leaving for urgent work. Meanwhile, Vanessa reaches the old Freddy's location. There, she reveals she knows Charlotte, the same girl who died at the beginning. Charlotte, now controlling the animatronics, says she is about to open the barrier that has been holding them back. Vanessa realizes Charlotte is using Lisa's body and is coming after her. At the competition, Abby goes, but the teacher deliberately breaks her robot. Sad, Abby returns to the animatronics and tells Chica. Chica offers to become her project, but first Abby must disable the barrier trapping them. Chica gives her a secret code. Meanwhile, Charlotte captures Vanessa and demands the code in exchange for Abby's safety. Vanessa is forced to reveal it. Abby enters the code and all animatronics are finally free. Chica takes a cab to Abby's school. Mike meets Charlotte's father, who says he always suspected his daughter was murdered and has collected evidence. Mike learns about an old river ride still working in the original location. When he calls the school, Abby is missing. Before leaving, the man gives Mike Charlotte's music box, which becomes extremely important later. Mike reaches Freddy's and sees broken animatronics everywhere. He starts searching for Abby. At school, Abby brings Chica to the competition. The teacher thinks someone is inside the suit and disqualifies her. When he returns to get his keys, he hears a sound. Chica drags him inside and kills him. Mike finds Vanessa tied up in the original location. She tells him Charlotte is behind everything. Mike tries to disconnect her, and they both attempt to reach the security room through different paths. Vanessa explains Charlotte's last days, how angry she was, and how only the music box could calm her. Mike reveals he has the music box. On the way, Mike falls into water and barely escapes an animatronic. Vanessa explains that some animatronics are now targeting parents who did not help Charlotte when she died. Mike tells Vanessa to find Abby while he handles the other side. At the competition, Abby wins with Chica. Suddenly, prototype animatronics activate. Mike reaches a location inside Freddy's and contacts Vanessa, but the connection cuts due to loud noises. An animatronic attacks Vanessa's car, causing it to crash, but she survives and reaches a parent's house in time to save them. Charlotte activates prototypes to kill Mike, but he deactivates them. He calls Vanessa and says all systems are shut down. Suddenly, one last active dot appears at his house and he rushes there. Charlotte, now reconnected in Chica's body, kidnaps Abby. Vanessa's car breaks down, but someone helps her reach Mike's house. Inside, Vanessa finds Abby possessed by Charlotte. She tries to stop her. Mike arrives and uses the music box to forcefully repel Charlotte, saving both Abby and Vanessa. But at the moment, Michael arrives and reveals he is Vanessa's brother, Michael Afton. He says he will continue his father's legacy. Suddenly, the animatronics from the previous movie appear and begin destroying Michael's animatronics. This happens because Mike had already asked for their help, and they came to save his family. Freddy and Chica fight the prototype droids. Gradually, all animatronic systems begin to fail and shut down. Chica's spirit tells Mike to take care of Abby because they will not be there anymore. Michael tries to escape, but the good animatronics take him down. Before leaving, they warn Mike that once they are gone, he will be free, but he does not understand what that means. Mike leaves with Abby, distancing himself from Vanessa because he can no longer trust her after all the secrets. Vanessa is left alone, and in that vulnerable moment, Charlotte's spirit enters her body without anyone knowing. The movie ends here. So friends, this was the full story of Five Nights at Freddy's 2.